So much. I didn't realize I was already on. So thank you so much for this opportunity. And thank you for having me today. I'll jump right in. This is a very important topic, and I'm honored to be able to speak to the difference between being against racism and being actively anti racist. Ibram Kendi teaches us that to become anti racist, we must first progress through three zones: fear, learning, and growth. The fear zone is where we may deny racism or avoid the discomfort of addressing it. The learning zone is where we strive to understand ourselves and how we contribute to spaces of privilege and racism. The growth zone is where we want to be, the moment when we explore the discomfort, acknowledge the reality, and actively work to challenge the racist ideals and actions of others. When people ask me to break down anti racism into layperson's terms, I compare it to security forces. I, as an individual, am against violence. Security personnel are anti violence. I run away from it and I avoid dangerous situations as much as I can. They run toward it, risking it all to stop violence in its tracks. It is with racism that we must keep the same energy. Racism is dangerous. It not only disrupts lives, it takes lives. To stop that, we must attack it head on. That does not require the same level of violence. In my group, several members challenge do it how you can, make a difference from your seat. You must use your own strength, use your voice, use your privilege, as Jennifer said at the onset of our conversation tonight. Teach others through your own actions. Support others when they're affected. Take risks. Do what you can to prevent the existence of racism and its opportunity to negatively impact any more lives. To stand up for ourselves and others, we must be the security, securing our democracy and protecting the lives of our neighbors. Let's put our anti racist badge on and run head on in the battle against racism. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you. We'll have you call on our four facilitators, starting with Mrs. Faley.
I'm still writing from what Sabrina said. I could continue listening. You you created the three top things: fear, learning, and growth. Outstanding. And in the group, I saw just that. I was privileged to have a speaker. I was privileged to have Natalie Borneo's daughter, so very and others, very experienced people. Um, and one person mentioned that it's really, up to her to be the strong person, to model positive actions, and to I think with everyone it was to speak out, to have the strength to speak when there is a problem. One mentioned posting on Facebook and being honest about posts on Facebook when an incident occurs. And that makes us very vulnerable. One certainly to say that I would hesitate to do that, but it's important to do that, to be open and honest. I think the focus really is on how to clearly state a position without being angry, figuring out exactly what to say and how you want to say it, and being very secure in what you're saying, believing in what you're saying. I loved what Saul mentioned, that he expected the sixth to happen, and he was so I can't find the term that he used, um, but he was so happy to see, the 20th, where the American experiment um, is in action again. It's working again. Kamala Harris, the vice president, in so many ways, so that America American democracy is an experiment. It's a process, and the process is continuing to move forward. From my point of view, that's the miracle of American democracy. Also, people working to make sure that voters could vote in this election, and that took